Good evening out there, YouTube. Needlebender 785 Ohio, waving a hand. Got a new project on our bench today. Got a Texas Star 1600. It's a minor repair. It's basically a tune-up video. The biggest kind of surprise for all the viewers out there who enjoy this channel is this came from a very special guest and a very special radio operator in the Hawaiian Islands, Mr. Derek Needlebender 1212 in Maui. So we're going to take special good care of him on this Texas Star, since this thing went on a really long journey from the Hawaiian Islands to come here to get the input tune SWR redone. And this thing is actually the cleanest Texas Star I've actually ever seen. It's absolutely fantastic. This thing has been taken care of. It's been properly maintained, cleaned. I mean, you got absolutely finest parts in here, not a speck of dust. I mean, this thing is just a pleasure to work on. And this thing actually didn't need any work. It just needed a so if you take a look over here, I've added an inductor, a 3-turn coil, and a variable capacitor, which is going to control a little L network that's going to drop down the SWR. The SWR was 1.5 on the input and about a 1.3 on the pass-through, and I think we got that down quite a bit significantly there. Also, we're going to be taking a look at the spectrum, input, tune. We got a 5-watt slug and reverse. Got a brand new out of the box, and I'm talking brand new bird meter I got from Martin RF on eBay. He actually sells brand new meters out of the box, and they actually come with a true bird peak kit, which is going to be used here. And this thing does not have, I actually kind of wanted I know there's all these meters we've always been using for years that have the 2X, the 5X, the peak. Kind of wanted a true bird meter that's been calibrated new out of the box, and nothing's been done to it. So I purchased one of those, and that's going to be for our output, and that's a 5,000 watt slug and forward, and that's going to be in peak power as well. It's just going to be a little video of what we've done to this amplifier, this absolute beautiful amplifier. Like I said, usually you see these things just absolutely dirty and all kinds of stuff done to them. This thing is phenomenal. I mean, that's an understatement. So let's just take a look at the setup, what we got going on. The amplifier is off. We got here's our principal signal. We got a audio. We got a Striker 955. We're on channel 38, and which is Derek is primarily a sideband operator, so we're gonna keep it realistic, to say the least. So the amplifier is off. We're on 14.6 volts, and we're gonna be putting about, I would say, 10 watts into this audio. Here's our pass-through tune. Audio. That's the SWR bridge, and that's a 5-watt slug. Audio. Quarter watt reflect, and that's on AM. So let's fire up the amplifier and set up a dead key of about. I'm going to turn the peak kit off for just a moment there. That's about 500 watt dead key. Audio. That's a little too high, actually. Audio. About a 400 watt dead key. Audio. Averaging about 700 watts. Let's take a look at the reflect. Now, when I first dead key, you will see some reflect, which is just about 3/4 of a watt. And now look what happens when I modulate. This is AM though. Audio. Goes all the way down to 0. So that's all good. Now we're gonna go see what we're doing here on peak power on AM. Now remember, we're driving this with just a 100-watt radio, and this thing can take a lot more drive than what we're putting in right now. So right now we're on peak mode, 5,000 watt slug and forward on AM. Audio, 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 audio. About 1,500 watts. Now we're gonna go to sideband and see what we're doing on. Take a look at the SWR bridge. Now we're on lower sideband. Audio, no SWR. Audio, audio, quarter watt. Full peak power. Audio, 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 audio. About 1,300 watts. Now the problem is that right now we're just running out of juice driving this thing. This thing does need a fan, in my opinion, if you're going to run it a lot. It does get a little warm. Not a lot, just a little warm. I think we're going to call this one done and not mess with it anymore. Now I am going to replace this with a fixed value capacitor just to get the value. So I'm going to measure this and I'm going to put a fixed value capacitor. This little coil is going to stay there, and this is going to be done. As far as the spectrum goes, let's take a look at it one more time here on the spectrum on AM here. And that's, let's see, 15 dB, that's 15 dB, and that's minus 20. That's 40 dB down. So the third harmonic, the second one is actually so well matched it's invisible. So it's 40 dB down, it's more than 30, so it's well within spec for any kind of operation, even within ham band tolerances, that's well within spec. This is actually a really, really clean Texas Star. For a Texas Star to have third harmonic 40 dB down and nothing else is pretty incredible. So I would say this is a great amplifier, Derek. It's got an all original red dot 2879 Toshibas. If you take care of this amplifier, it will take care of you for many years. And it's always going to be good to hear you on the air there, coming from the islands there. Anyway, Mr. Derek, Needle Bender 1212. We'll get this box out to you at probably early next week, because I gotta go to work and I won't be able to ship it out tomorrow or anything like that. And we'll get it out to you, and we'll get you on your way. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll get back on the side here. Needle Bender 785. We're gonna be back on the side.